Autocross Racing. I know you've subscribed already. We're bringing you another video on our econo Spec Miata build. I had some people email me, hey, what happened to part number 14? So yeah, I decided to go ahead and we'll make this video before the weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put the new Penske shocks on. A lot of you have been requesting, how do I get those shocks on here? So I'm going to show you my method of doing it. Also, we ran into a couple of small issues with this car, and I'll explain those as we go along. All right, so I've got the car up in the air with the wheels off. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take some PB Blaster and just kind of hit the places that I know that we're going to need to take off, because as we can see, this Oregon vehicle does have some like little rusted components on here. Okay, so I'm going to try to go ahead and make it to where it comes off a little easier than, there we go. All right, so let's get at it. All right, so I'm going to use a 14 millimeter deep, and I need a 14 millimeter wrench. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bolt out from this upper control arm right here. Okay, we got that one. I'm going to set that there. You might have to tap it out. Get a rubber hammer. And just move the thing out of there. Go. All right. I always like to put the nuts right back on where they came from, so I don't lose them. All right, so I got that one. Do the same thing on the other side. Right here. Okay, working this bolt out. There we go. Lots of tricks on these shocks too, especially when we're going back together. All right, okay, I got that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and crack loose the bottom bolt. So it's a 17. So 17 on one side and a 13/16 on the other. So I'm just going to crack loose this door control arm bolt right here. Hold this side over here. I don't need to take it all the way off. Just gotta crack these things loose. That's it. Okay, all right. So I still got my 17 on here. I'm gonna go ahead and take off this lower shock bolt. There. That's the lower shock bolt. There we go. Set that there. So I pretty much got everything almost done down here. Hey, sometimes you got to take off these sway bars. and I noticed that they were on there pretty rusted. So I tried holding it with the wrench and backing off the Allen. And yes, even Al has difficulty. You guys are always, Mr. Angler, you make it look so easy. It isn't always easy, okay? I run into my fair share of problems. So I need to get this off for the future. I could probably get away with not having to take it off for the shock absorbers, but it's gonna end up having to come off when I do the sway bars and when I replace the end links. So it gives me more room to hang down. I really only need to undo one side. So in this case, I gotta get ugly, all right? So I'm gonna just cut it off. This one. There we go. All right. That's gonna have to come off anyway, so we got that off. All right, so we're hanging down here. I'm gonna lower the car, and then we're gonna go upstairs. And they actually go to get in there pretty easy, so it's not a really big problem. This car does have some rust issues. I think it might have been over by the coast, on the Oregon coast. And so I see a lot of surface rust. No rust on the body. The body's really straight. But definitely, you guys can well see that from the undercarriage. There's definitely signs of some corrosion down there. So a good idea to just kind of hit that stuff with your WD-40, BB Blaster, or whatever your penetrant that you're wanting to use on it. Okay. All right. So what I need to do now is the top bolts for the shock. Those are 14, and you got to use it deep. All right, because a shallow won't break it. Side over here. This side's a little harder to get to. Let's see if I can get in here. I'm gonna have to take that out. Try to give me some room. This one too. Okay. All right. Now let me go back to my 14. Be careful you don't drop the nut down in here, because sometimes they're really hard to fish out of there. So I get my hand underneath there and catch it before it falls down.
really good aim.
It was pretty close, man. I almost dropped it down in there. All right, let's come on over to here. Okay, so should come right out now. All right, there's one. Yeah, this thing already had built-ins on it. Okay. See how it's nice that this is off of there? Because if it was on, I wouldn't be able to pull this arm down far enough. So that's why it's a good idea to have to take those off. All right, so the new shocks. All right, so the new shocks are usually, they got a zip tie holding these two bushings together. So you don't want to lose these. They do fall off. The other one, they were loose in the bag. So these do come off of here and like that. So I don't want to lose those as I'm going back on. Okay. All I got to do is slip this down in here. Now let's put this out first. Put that in. Okay. All right. I'm just starting the shock bolt here. I want to kind of get these lined up a little bit so that when I go back together, it kind of goes right into place. So I'm just lining up the two shock bolts. There we go, like that. Okay. And
You want me to hold that while you
yeah,
got
Mike, you can
I
hold
got
it
it,
with
I
one
got it.
hand, and I'll.
Got it.
You got it.
Yep.
All right. Okay, and I'll take this for a second.
Got it.
All right. Look, I'm using the camera. All right. So all I'm going to do is start these back up in here.
You could use a jack if you didn't have a mic.
I don't need a jack. I've got a mic. All right. Here you go. I got it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten up these two top ones up here. Okay. Now we get to go to the other side. Yeah, sorry about the delay on the econo build. I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to be one of those videos where I see them all the time where they start it and they never finished a project. Most of you that know me, you know I'm not that kind of guy. When I say I'm going to finish something, I finish it. One time I was dumb enough to tell everybody I was going to finish an Ironman. It was only a few years ago. Damn, that hurt. Okay. I did it. I did an Ironman. Yeah, it's true. I did one. It wasn't easy. All right, Mike. Okay, you got
This
it.
for you?
And I got this.
I don't know how much you're going to be able to see in there, but go ahead.
I know, it's pretty dark back here. All right, but if I can get the bolt started. Okay. So my hand back up in there. And I got one started. I'm trying really hard not to drop them down into the tunnel of death. That's where all the bolts go that never reappear again. Okay, I got it. All right, Mike, here you go. All right. Okay, 14 millimeter, got to use that deep. Once again, these shocks came all assembled, and I like getting them like that. Okay, while I'm here, go ahead and put this all back together. We already did that fuel line modification I did a couple of months ago. See if I can get this back on there. Okay. This has been a good little project though. guys have been real supportive on the channel. Yeah, we're always closing in on new milestones. So we're just shy of 4,000 hours. Which is always great. Great comments. I got so many videos that people want me to make. And you know, I want to make them all for you, but there's only one of me, and there's only so much time in a day that allows me to do it. Okay, so now I like to complete things in stages, so the entire upper stage is done. All right, so this is all completed. So I'm going to lift the car up, and we're going to finish up the lower. I don't like leaving stuff loose where I got to try to remember to come back up there and finish it. That's how you leave bolts loose, and when you leave bolts loose, then the parts fall off on the racetrack. It's quite embarrassing. So try not to do that. Okay, so come on over here, Mike, and I'm going to go ahead and put this back together here. So I'm going to put this upper control arm bolt in. I'm going to put the nut on it. Okay, and let's go do the other side. Okay. And there is a subscriber-only tip coming up here in just a minute. So in order for me to tell you the trick here, you have to have subscribed to the channel. So we're working on the honor system here. All right, so I got this on, and now I'm just going to tighten up the bottom bolts for the shocks. Okay, so let me lift it a little bit more. And I'm going to tell you the subscriber tip. All right, so what I have loose now is I have the lower control arm bolt right here. I have the upper control arm bolt right here, and I've got this cut off. So the next video will probably replace these sway bar and the sway bar end links. One thing about the sway bar end links is that they're out of them right now and they're getting them to me, so I'm still waiting on the end links. I know I've left this loose and I left this loose, and I left them loose for a reason, okay? This is the reason tip, is that I don't want to tighten these while the vehicle suspension is hanging down, okay? So the suspension is hanging down like that, and if I tighten these up right now, then when we lower the car, we're going to twist these bushings, all right? So, and it also affects the alignment, it affects the way the car handles, it affects a lot of aspects of the car. So the trick is to tighten those bolts with all of the weight back on the car. So what I use is I use the stands for the alignment machine. I just set the stand down here, we lower the car, and we tighten all this stuff up. If you don't have those stands, you could put a jack stand underneath here, lower the car on the jack stands, and all the weight would be on the suspension and the jack stands, and then tighten these up, all right? That's the trick, okay? That keeps you from torquing and twisting up all the bushings, all right? Okay, I don't know, Mike does the timer, but I think we're probably 15 to 20 minutes at the most. 20 minutes?
19 right now, yeah.
All right, so 20 minutes on installing the rear Penske racing shocks on our NB. I know that you know how to do it now, all right? So I'm really happy to bring this video to you. Thank you for staying on top of me about getting back to step 14. I think this is step 14. And I want to thank you guys for subscribing. I want to thank all of you. Don't go away yet. Maybe I'm giving away money here. Nah, I ain't giving away no money. Hey, I'll see you at the racetrack. All right, bye now.